A cold wind slid across the abandoned mining settlement on Vespanine, carrying dust, metal scent, and the faint hum of broken reactors. Jack had lived here alone for 3 years, now by choice. After losing his engineering team in a reactor accident he barely survived, solitude had become his anchor. A dim cottage, scattered tools, and long days of silent repairs were all he needed, or so he thought. On a night when the purple twin moons hung low, heavy clouds rumbling like a warning, Jack heard something stranger, soft, hesitant tapping on metal. Not a machine, not a creature. A knock. He froze. No one visited Vespa-9. He walked to the door, heart steady but alert, hand resting near the emergency flap. The knock came again, weak, trembling. Jack opened the door. Standing there, half collapsed, was a girl, slender, with faint luminescent markings along her arms that flickered like dying fireflies. Her clothes were torn, soaked from the acid-tinged rain. She was shivering violently, clutching her arms close. Her eyes wide, bright teal, lifted to his. "Please," she whispered, "please don't send me away." Jack blinked. "You're hurt and freezing. Come inside." She hesitated, terrified, as if expecting him to change his mind. "Now," he said, not unkindly. Finally, she stepped in. The alien girl. He guided her to the warming pad. Only then did he notice her injuries, thin cuts across her legs, burn marks on her wrists, and the exhaustion of someone who hadn't slept in days. "What's your name?" Jack asked gently. She swallowed. "Sarah." The name surprised him. It was a human name, spoken in an alien accent like she was trying her best to fit in. "What happened to you?" Her glowing markings dimmed. "My colony, the trade caravans. They were attacked." She clenched her hands. "I ran. I kept running. I don't know if anyone survived." Jack nodded slowly. "You're safe here. No weapons. No interrogation. No suspicion. Just safety." It was almost enough to make her cry. A night of storms. Hours passed as the storm outside intensified, shaking the small dwelling with thunderous weight. Jack prepared nutrient broth and handed it to her. She accepted it with both hands like it was a treasure. "You don't have to stay long," he said cautiously. "Just until the storm clears and you feel stronger." Sarah looked up sharply. "You are actually letting me stay?" "Of course. But humans don't shelter unknown often. I've heard stories." Jack sat across from her. "People fear what they don't know. But you knocked on my door, shivering and hurt. That's all I needed to see." She stared at him, truly stared, as if trying to understand a creature that didn't fit her expectations. "You're strange," she murmured. He chuckled. "I hear that often." But Sarah wasn't joking. "No one has ever helped me without asking for something first." Jack's expression softened. "You don't owe me anything." Something broke inside her, then something hard, forged by fear and betrayal. Tears welled up, making her glowing marks shimmer softly. She turned her face away, embarrassed. Jack didn't comment. He just handed her a blanket, a different kind of morning when morning came. Vespanine was washed in soft lavender light. Jack found Sarah awake earlier than him, sitting quietly near the window, mesmerized by the unfamiliar calm. "You slept?" he asked, for the first time in weeks. Her voice was clearer, steadier, and then he noticed something else. Her glowing markings had brightened, like her body was healing faster in a safe environment. "You're recovering." "I didn't think I would," she admitted. Jack poured 2 cups of synthesized tea. Sarah sniffed it, suspicious. "It's not poison," he said dryly. She almost smiled. The truth she was running from by noon. She finally told him everything. "My people were being hunted," Sarah said. "Not by raiders. By the Syndicate. They want our abilities, our bioluminescent pathways. They extract them to engineer weapons." Jack went still. "Weapons? Living by..." "Glowing skin isn't just decoration." She tapped her wrist. The lines pulsed brighter. "This stores energy, and the Syndicate wants to turn us into batteries." Jack exhaled slowly. "So they're targeting refugees?" "Yes, and I'm one of the last from my caravan." "Then you really can't leave this place?" "Not yet." She blinked. "You would hide me, even from them?" "I've dealt with Syndicate hunters before," Jack said, a dark edge slipping into his voice. "They're cowards dressed as men." Sarah studied him again, the human who didn't treat her like a resource or a problem, but simply a person. "Why are you helping me?" Jack shrugged. "Because someone should." The knock that never should have come the following evening, as Sarah helped Jack repair a broken coolant pipe. The scanners beeped, a warning light flashing red. "Incoming vessel detected." Small, armed Syndicate. Sarah's breath hitched. "They found me." Jack's face hardened. "Get inside. Hide under the platform. Do not move." "But Jack, they'll kill you." He shook his head. "They'll try." HFY moment. The human stands. The syndicate enforcers landed with mechanical precision. 3 armored figures approached Jack's door. One kicked it open. Jack stood there alone, unarmed, wiping coolant off his hands like greeting annoying neighbors. You're harboring a fugitive, the lead enforcer growled. Surrender her now. Jack tilted his head. You're trespassing on a registered mechanic's claim. That's illegal. Don't test us, human. We know she's here. Jack sighed. In that case, he stepped aside. No. The enforcers froze. No, Jack repeated. Slower. No. Humans were supposed to be fragile, fearful, easy to intimidate, but Jack wasn't. Within seconds, he triggered the emergency flare bar he'd hidden behind the door. Its blast of blinding, white light disorienting the armored attackers. Sarah watched in shock as Jack fought, like a man who had lost everything and refused to lose again. Were knocked unconscious by hydraulic force. Punches. The third reached for a rifle. Jack slammed him backward using a shock pulse from the coolant generator he'd rigged specifically for intruders. Minutes later, silenced. Sarah crawled out, trembling. You defeated 3 syndicate hunters alone. Jack rubbed his bruised shoulder. I'm not proud of it, but I'm alive. You risked everything for me. You knocked on my door, he said simply, and that made you my responsibility. A new beginning. As the purple sunset settled over Sarah sat beside Jack outside the cottage. I don't know what the future holds, she murmured, but can I stay a while longer? Jack nodded. Stay as long as you need. For the first time since fleeing her colony, Sarah felt something she thought she'd lost forever: home. And for Jack, who had lived in silence and shadows for years, the knock on his door had brought something back into his life. Purpose. Humanity had a strange power no alien civilization fully understood. Kindness that defied logic, and courage that defied odds. And tonight, on a forgotten planet, that power shone brighter than stars.